February 27th, 2012, Vancouver, British Columbia, on unceded Coast Salish territory, on Denman Street, in the heart of the West End. And as you heard the video open up there was a little honk that got here, and that wasn't for any regular traffic incidents. We actually are in front of King George Secondary High School today. In front, got a whole whack of teachers and support staff. Got the students joining them in sport. Let's ask one of them what brings them out here today. Hi there.
Hi.
I was wondering if you could give me just a couple words on what brings you out today. Why we have teachers on the streets in BC in 2012.
Well, I think we've ended up here because it's now a crisis, and the BCTF and BCPC, the government negotiator, cannot reach an agreement. There hasn't really been much negotiation going on in the first place. We seem to offer things and concessions and whatnot, and the government never nibbles. So legislation is being drafted this week to order us to cease the job action that we've been underway and have us back in the classrooms doing what they want us to do. And we're looking for improvements to the system. That includes teachers' wages, of course, but it also includes things like classroom size, funding for special needs kids, an overall improvement in the system. The government keeps calling us an essential service, and they're probably going to use that kind of legislation to prevent us from walking out, and if we do walk out, they'll use that to bring us back. We're saying if we're an essential service, treat us like one. You don't see police and firemen standing on the streets in front of their fire halls looking, to raise money to buy hot cars and fire trucks. We're important. We take care of kids, we take care of families. Schools are basically where many social services begin. Families. So it's time to be, I think, respected for the good work we do and not treated to the point that we have to act like this.
Thanks so much. Hi there. I was wondering if you could give a few words just on what's got the teachers out in the streets now. Why? What has brought us to this point?
Well, I think the teachers are really frustrated that there's been very little negotiation in terms of our new contract. The fact that both BCPC and the BCTF have said that a mediator would be workable, but for some reason that hasn't been implemented. It's really discouraging. It almost makes it look like the government has no intention of allowing us to come to a mediated settlement or a fair agreement.
Doesn't look like good faith.
No, it certainly doesn't. Absolutely.
And for somebody who's maybe not even aware of what's been going on with the BC teachers and the talk of legislation, well, can you maybe give just a quick background of where, up to what's led up to this point?
Well, they've been bargaining even out of the contract since the start of the year. They've been bargaining since the beginning of the year. Last time our contract was bargained, the government legislated us and stripped our collective agreement from...
And that was in 2006? Is that correct? I'm not positive.
Okay,
I'll check.
On the date, but it was the last.
The last
contract.
contract.
And that was the contract that the Supreme Court said was unconstitutional. So, but the government doesn't seem to want to respect the court's viewpoint and isn't willing to reinstate the things that they stripped from us last time. And on top of that, now they want to strip even more. So teachers are frustrated. They're concerned about the road that education is going down, and we're of the kind about not only can we support our families in terms of the cost of living going up, but also in what does that mean for our students? Because what we see when things get cut back in education, it impacts the students that we teach, and it impacts our working conditions as well.
A big intersection of social services.
Absolutely.
So probably a tack we would see a government going if they went back to work legislation is framing teachers as an essential service. And most people would agree that teachers are an essential service for our kids. Do teachers feel like they're being treated as an essential service? You know, the other ones that I can think of are police, our firefighters, our ambulance, and they can get contracts and they don't have to go out on the streets. Do teachers feel like they're...
I think the government has already told us that we are an essential service. I think the biggest thing they haven't told us is that we are a respected service. So,
Thank you so much. That's great.